I bet you didn't know just how fragile the US-Canada trade relationship really is. Welcome back to Universal Insight. Please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon for more updates. The Ambassador Bridge, once bustling with trade, now stands eerily quiet, a symbol of a fractured partnership between Detroit and Windsor. Just weeks ago, thousands of trucks crossed daily, fueling one of the world's most integrated supply chains. Now, rows of new cars sit idle, victims of a standoff sparked by President Trump's tariffs. The goal was to protect American jobs, but the reality is economic pain on both sides. Tariffs meant to shield the industry have backfired, stalling production and threatening livelihoods. What began as a trade dispute has escalated into a crisis, with heated rhetoric and retaliatory measures deepening the divide. The tension is felt everywhere, from factory floors to small-town diners. For millions, this isn't just politics, it's a direct threat to their future. The question remains, how did we get here, and what comes next? The conflict began with President Trump's America First agenda, targeting Canadian auto imports with steep tariffs. The aim forced automakers to bring jobs back to the US-Canada hit back, imposing its own duties and sparking a nationwide Boycott America movement. What started as a policy dispute quickly became personal, with both sides trading insults and threats. The fallout spread beyond autos. American whiskey exports to Canada plunged, and border tourism dried up. Meanwhile, the US reignited its trade war with China, creating global uncertainty. The North American focus, however, remained on auto tariffs, the first shot in a bitter feud. Businesses, workers, and consumers are now caught in the crossfire. The economic pain is widespread, and a diplomatic solution seems distant. The trade war has become a defining crisis for both nations. The North American auto industry once thrived on seamless cross-border trade. Trump's tariffs shattered this system, making parts and vehicles more expensive overnight. Automakers faced a choice: absorb costs or pass them to consumers. Instead of boosting US jobs, the tariffs triggered chaos. Production slowed, costs soared, and jobs were threatened. American car buyers now face higher prices, with Goldman Sachs estimating they'll bear most of the tariff burden. A $35,000 car could now cost thousands more, squeezing families and dampening demand. The ripple effects hit suppliers, logistics firms, and dealerships. Every link in the auto chain feels the strain. Small manufacturers and service workers are at risk of sales drop and production stalls. The dream of revitalizing US manufacturing has turned into a nightmare of rising costs and job insecurity. The industry's future hangs in the balance. The trade war's impact is deeply personal for businesses and workers along the border. At Bluff Point Golf Resort in New York, Canadian visitors vanished, forcing layoffs and cutbacks. The Boycott America movement has devastated tourism and local economies. Land visits from Canada to the US dropped 31%, air travel 13%. Entire towns feel the loss. In Seattle, Clipper Navigation laid off a quarter of its staff as Canadian ridership plummeted. American exporters like Cedar Ridge Distillery saw their Canadian markets evaporate overnight. These aren't faceless corporations, they're local businesses caught in the crossfire. Tariffs meant to protect have instead inflicted widespread harm. With government data limited by a shutdown, the true extent of the damage is unclear. For workers and small business owners, the pain is immediate and real. The trade war has ignited fierce political debate in the US. Trump's supporters hail the tariffs as patriotic, pointing to new investments as proof of success. Critics, including some Republicans, warn of layoffs and rising prices, calling for a return to diplomacy. In Canada, public outrage is unified. Boycott America is a rallying cry for national pride. Prime Minister Carney stands firm, refusing to concede to US pressure. The dispute has become about identity and sovereignty, not just economics. Diplomatic efforts have stalled, with both leaders distracted by other global crises. The result: public anger and political gridlock, making compromise nearly impossible. Both nations are entrenched, with no easy way out. As uncertainty deepens, markets react to every twist in the trade war. The Canadian dollar swings wildly, its fate tied to elusive trade talks. High-level negotiations continue, but progress is slow, and both sides remain entrenched. The auto industry is left to navigate billion-dollar decisions amid political chaos. The longer the standoff, the deeper the economic scars. Optimists hope economic pain will force a breakthrough deal. Pessimists fear escalation and recession. A Supreme Court challenge to the president's tariff authority could upend everything. For now, automakers hedge bets, consumers brace for higher prices, and workers fear layoffs. the once steady flow of North American commerce is now a tense, waiting game. The future depends on whether diplomacy can overcome division and restore trust.